Hello, 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 and guten Tag, guys. I hope you are having a fantastic afternoon. Just a little disclaimer at the beginning of the video. The audio was a little bit messed up, but it was a really fun stream overall, and we've just jumped back in after 2 weeks. So I wanted to put this up regardless of how it sort of went. But I just want to let you know before the video gets started, before we start streaming, which we're going to jump into in 2 seconds, the audio was a little bit messed up, a little bit distorted during the Magic content. So I can only apologize in advance for that. And yeah, hold my hands up. I messed up with that. But hopefully you guys don't shoot me and you enjoy the video anyway. Have a good one, guys. Hello, 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 and good evening, good afternoon. I'm going to say good afternoon because at the moment it is midway through the afternoon. I think it's about 20 past 6. But yes, we are back streaming, playing some Magic the Gathering. We're going to play some Legends of Runeterra at the end of the stream. But I've taken a few weeks off streaming, but I'm excited to get back into it. It's been a bit hot. It's been in this room. I can't really have a fan on because it distorts the audio a bit. But yeah, I am super, super excited to jump back into some Magic the Gathering. Today we're just going to do a casual stream. We're going to do a few hours and see how it goes. Going to play a few decks. I think I'm going to start off. We're going to start off by editing one of the decks. I think because I've taken a bit of time out of Magic and streaming and sort of video content and all that. We're going to have to refresh. Obviously, I haven't played much Jumpstart. We played some Goblins at the beginning of the season, but apart from that, we haven't played too much at all. So we need to edit some lists and see what we want to play with. The most recent list I played with, basically, I'm mainly just a historic player for people who watch the channel quite often. We were playing some mono black discard, which I'd quite like to turn into Rakdos if we have the wild cards. I built some Jeskai control, obviously one of my favourite lists for people who keep up to date. You'll probably know that. And Esper control. So basically I built Esper over Jeskai. It's essentially the same lists, but it has a really important sideboard card that I was really struggling with. I can't remember the name of it, but let's just have a look. Here we go. Just to stop Field the Dead and Massacre Worm as well. But I was getting really bored of dying to Field of the Dead, so I decided to put the Plague in, and hopefully we could answer that. But I think I'm a little bit more excited to play some Jeskai, so we'll jump back into the Jeskai list, and we'll start the stream with a bit of that. See how that goes. Let's make sure the list is up to date. Anything we want to change or add. I've actually had a few suggestions for some people. So I've had suggestions to change potentially the Dovin's Vetoes in the main to what's it called, Tails End instead, since it counters a lot of the same stuff, but it can also counter triggered abilities at the same time. Don't know if it's going to be any good. Maybe we should try with some Tails End and see how it does. Do we not have any? It is Tails End, isn't it? There we go. It's the apostrophe. Maybe we'll try with some of these. Let's try 2 Tails End, and we'll cut 2 Dovin's Vetoes, and we'll see how this goes as well. This was a suggestion that was given to me as well. In terms of the rest of the list, I haven't really changed it too much. I know that there was a card that I wanted to add in. I got the wild cards for it. I can't remember the name of it, though. We collected it. I think it's a rare in white. Here we go. Containment Priest. That was something that I think I needed to add in. I don't know what I want to cut for it. Maybe counter spells. Maybe Ether Gusts. We essentially got to make some room for these Containment Priests. With Goblins running around so much, I think it's sort of essential to have these in. They also hate on just a lot of aggro cards. Not aggro cards. Graveyard lists at the same time, since if they enter from the graveyard, Containment Priest is going to exile them at the same time. Reanimation it hits on, so it gets our graveyard hate. The one problem that I have, though, is like I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, Field of the Dead. Field of the Dead is really, really difficult to beat for this list, since we can't really grind them out, and we can grind them, but they just make too much value. I don't know the suggestion for that. What has Jeskai got to fight Field of the Dead? If you guys have got any suggestions, please do let me know. I am struggling with that with the current meta. Maybe I should have looked that up before we started the stream and started with finding an answer to Field the Dead. But hopefully what the aim is going to be, we're going to dodge Field the Dead. Essentially, that is my answer to it. We're not going to play Field the Dead. We're going to avoid that entirely. Maybe we just want to cut the Ruined Halodes. Maybe they're the better shout to cut. So I think we want our counter spells. We want Aether Gust. I don't know how predominant green and red's going to be at the moment, but it hits on Goblins. It stops Muxus at the moment. What else do we want? Timely Reinforcement's good for aggro. Really massive fan of this card. I think we want our additional board wipes. Maybe we can cut one of them. I'm not sure. What else should we play? Should we just play with this list? I think let's run this list. We'll run it for a few games. We'll see what we like, what we don't like, and we will change it as we are going on. I think we'll stick with that. And I'm really eager to give Mono Black discard a go. So I threw together a pretty... let me just start a game. I threw together a really basic sideboard to Mono Black aggro, and it worked out okay. I played a few games off stream, but not that great. So maybe I need to build a sideboard. If anyone here, you can maybe drop some suggestions in the comments. If you're watching this on YouTube after, please do put your suggestions for Mono Black discard in Historic. What should be in the 15 card sideboard? I don't know. Obviously, we got our answers to Field of the Dead, but in Mono Black, it is quite limited. Maybe we need to like pivot into that Masterminds Acquisition sideboard plan. Hey man, how you getting on, John? Hope you're doing well. Let's so we're against Luris, so I can imagine this is from what I've seen at the moment, this is probably the enchantment list, where you throw a load of auras and equipments on your 2 mana that when it draws a card and gets +2/+2 for each enchanted creature. I don't think this hand's gonna be fast enough. Oh, no lands, but we have our Bone Crusher Giants. We're gonna have to mulligan this away as well, I think. Unfortunate, but this is exactly what we wanted to see when I was mulliganing for a hand. Come on, Bone Crusher Giant. Okay, so we have our Bone Crusher Giant here, but we are going to have to put some of these cards back. While Absorb's better on the play, I think it's going to be too slow. We'll keep our board white. Maybe we have to keep the Shark Typhoon just to cycle to make sure we hit our land drops. And we'll put these 2 to the bottom. We'll see how this goes, but I don't have high hopes for 5 lands on the play, but you never know if they stumble enough and we can interact with enough of their key threats. Hopefully, that will be enough. Just having a chat at the moment on our Facebook page talking about Thoughtseize coming in the next anthology, Amonkhet, or Amonkhet with the next release. Okay, so the Selfless Savior is going to be able to save their enchantment creature. Unfortunate, maybe we can ambush them, or maybe we'll have to go for a Shatter the Sky, but we do have to answer the Selfless Savior. Unfortunately, they do have the Spirit Dancer on turn 2. But yeah, Thoughtseize coming to Arena. Pretty much all blacklists are just going to have that. I wonder whether we want to just Bone Crusher this now. Since, are we going to get a better opportunity? We need to answer this for the Shatter the Sky anyway. I mean, is there any point in taking the damage? So we shock this, or stomp this. Our opponent's going to sacrifice to give it indestructible. I think next turn the play is just to play a Steam Vents untapped. We kind of want to hit our Shatter. I reckon we're just going to cycle this Shark Typhoon just for no value, just to cycle it away, see what we hit. But hopefully our opponent doesn't have a Karametra's Blessing in hand. Hopefully they tap down. We had a poor opening hand, but I think we have stuff in the sideboard for this. We can answer this list. We can do it. Okay, so hopefully our opponent doesn't play an untapped land now. Okay, so we're taking 6 here, and our opponent's drawing an additional card. Not where we want to be. I think we are cycling the Shark Typhoon, though. Our opponent's gone to end step, so we are going to get an opportunity to kill this here. We'll just cycle, though. We'll get our 0/0. Yeah, and we're just going to have to Shatter here. I don't really want to give them any more value. They do get to draw a card off it, unfortunately. If they have a second one, which I guess is quite likely, we're going to it's going to feel real bad. They did miss their land drop, though. Selfless Savior, okay. So, what are we hoping for here? Untapped land? Untapped land it is. So, I think the aim is to play Bone Crusher Giant and Searchrise Canter, get some value going. Get a blocker up there. It also blocks the Narset. Otherwise, I feel we're just going to play Narset, tick down, and then it's going to kill it with the Selfless Savior. At least this way, we sort of threaten the block. Our opponent's going to have to think twice before they attack into this Bone Crusher Giant. Maybe not. They're just going to go straight over the top of the Arcane Flight. Okay, so we're taking 3 at a minimum here. Fortunately, it doesn't have like a Curious Obsession sort of effect, so we're not just dying to it. But Selfless Savior is susceptible to Justice Strike, which we have quite a few in the list. So hopefully our opponent gets a little bit greedy and we can find a Justice Strike. Unfortunately, Elspeth Conquers Death, not that great at answering a 1-drop. So let's Narset. So maybe Shatter's just our best answer here. I feel like it is. So we can't block.
let's attack in. If our opponent wants to use a Karametra's Blessing on blocking the Bone Crusher Giant, I think we're happy with that. I mean, we could just be dead here. Our opponent is missing land drops. They held open 1 white, though, so it makes me think that, yeah, they got the protection now. So the hope is they don't kill Narset, or we top deck a Justice Strike. They probably going to take down Narset here. Yeah. Okay, they take down Narset. Okay, come on, removal spell. Nope. Fable Passage, not quite what we was looking for. Fortunately, if we do get to survive another turn, which I don't know how likely it is, this gets indestructible to end of round. So even if we attack, they can sacrifice this to give this indestructible, but I wonder whether they will. Because obviously we want to draw a card off of it, don't we? Do we bluff our opponent? It's probably not worth the 4 damage to bluff them. So they sack to give indestructible, but we get to draw a card. And then we have enough to flip Searchrise Cancer next turn. So hopefully that's going to be enough. But like I said, we could just be dead here. If they have an indestructible sort of effect and we don't top deck a removal spell, this is not going to look good. Okay, Arcane Flight. Are they just going for the kill here? Yeah, they're going for the kill. Yep. Opponent has that game. We'll move on to the next one. Okay, this matchup, don't know how good this is going to be. Obviously, we were on the mulligan to 5 on the play, but we can do better than that. So, Runed Halo, we took that out, but that might have been actually a good shout. We don't have anything in the board for this, I don't think. So, opponent's hand, activate abilities with the chosen name can't be activated unless they're mana abilities. So this would work on Selfless Savior. Are we that desperate? we want to put this in for Selfless Savior. What do we want to cut? I think we want to cut the tails end. Maybe we want to keep these for the life gain. Maybe we don't want all these board wipes. I feel Narset's going to be quite good. I feel like maybe the Clarions and... See, our opponent can give protection, they can give indestructible, they can fly over. Maybe we just want... It might be niche, but let's put the 1 Sorcerer's Spyglass in, because it might help with the Selfless Saviors, but I don't think the 4th Deafening Clarion is going to be that great. Our opponent gets out of range quite quickly with them. I wonder whether we want some like Lyras or Baneslayer Angels in the board. Though they may not help in this matchup, they might be good in other ones. Okay. This hand. Do we keep this hand? 2 land on the play. We have our removal spell. But if our opponent goes turn 1 Selfless Savior, we are in trouble again. Think we should mulligan this. This hand is so much slower, but like we have our lands and that. I think I'm going to put this Inspired Ultimatum on the bottom to make sure we get land drops. Because it will be the death of us if we kept that last hand and just did not draw land. We had 2 lands. Yeah, and there's the Selfless Savior as well. So maybe we're going to be rewarded for this. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to hold up Absorb. Hopefully our opponent doesn't have a Spirit Dancer here. If we can just dodge it for 1 turn. Nope, Spirit Dancer. So we're going to hold up Absorb for what that's worth. And if they do nothing worth countering, then we can cycle the Triome. Right, let's hold this up, and then maybe Teferi can do something next turn, dig us towards a board wipe removal spell. I feel like it's already done though. They've got their protection down, and this is on cast, isn't it? Yeah, so they're gonna 2-for-1 us with the counter spell. Feels bad, man, but what are you gonna do? Okay, Alcide. Yeah, we don't want our opponent to have an extra layer of removal, and they're not going to 2-for-1 us on this exchange. Maybe we just take it where we can get it. Maybe it was better to cycle the Triome, try and hit some removal, since we're going to need 2 removal spells here. Yeah, I feel like this is a lost cause. What can we put in the board for this? We could probably put Ruined Halos in the board. I don't imagine our opponent's going to be able to answer them very easily. And if we put like on a core Spirit Dancer, while they can draw a lot of cards, it will just shut down that, and then they'll have to build a new body. Yeah, maybe we want them back in the board. Right, so I think we have to Teferi here. We're going to tick up, maybe discard the Steam Vents. And then we're going to have to phase out this core Spirit Dancer. I don't think we want to do an upkeep, even though they could have a Karametra's Blessing. Discard Steam Vents. Okay, so opponent's going to combat. Let's see what they got. Okay, so they put us in a position where if we down-tick Teferi to phase this out, then we will still lose it. So I think what we're going to do is we're just going to take this. We're going to take 6 now. I don't think our opponent can kill us in combat. And then Teferi gets 2 more digs to find something free if we want to. But our opponent can't pull the same shenanigans next turn, since Teferi will be 1 loyalty higher. Okay, I think that's good. Our opponent's just putting Luris into the hand, probably holding up a interactive spell. Yeah. We will tick up. Come on, something relevant. That does not count. Ooh, this does not look good. Well, we put it in for a certain reason, and the reason is here. What are we discarding? We're on 5, so we can allow 6 land. I think we'll just discard an Elspeth Conquers Death. Right, opponent, let's take a look. What are you playing with? Okay, so opponent has a Spell Pierce. That's going to be a problem. But we came here to name Selfless Savior. So, thou shall name Selfless Savior. I think we're going to cycle this as well. We need our... what are we on? We're on 5 lands. So, this isn't even the extra land that we need for Inspired Ultimatum. So, I think our opponent's kind of forced to attack Teferi with the Spirit Dancer here. They can give pro blue. So I think we need to phase this out in response. Or do we make our opponent attack it? I think we can phase this out in response. From the stuff in our opponent's hand, I don't think they can kill... They can't kill Teferi this turn. Are they going to smack him down to 1? Yeah. Okay, but we get a few looks at some interaction here. We do need a few things to go right, though. Let's cycle this. Land not that great. Okay, this has Arcane Flight on it, so we can't block this. Okay, Justice Strike is a start. Is the Bone Crusher Giant any use? I guess... The problem is they can just give pro. So the idea, we could have Justice Striked and Bone Crusher Gianted it. And played around Spell Pierce. But our opponent can give protection. So what is plan B? Actually, our opponent has 6, 7, 8 damage. So they don't actually have lethal yet. I guess they can play Luris and then... They can play Luris and then get an enchantment back. I think we're on the Inspired Ultimatum plan. So in that case, I think we're going to discard the Justice Strike. They essentially do the same thing, don't they? What are we shocking? So if we shock the Alseid, they can fizzle it. I think that's the plan still. It gets rid of the pro. Our opponent might just want to let it go. I think our opponent gets to do this no matter what we shock, though. Our opponent gets to fizzle this. So they're giving pro red, so that fizzles. So we're taking 7 on the swing. Unless our opponent wants to finish off Teferi. If we find a land, we can play this Inspired Ultimatum, though. Okay, I think that's just dead, isn't it? They top decked Enchantment. 9. Okay, so staggering insight. Well, we got to tick up and see if we can find something. Nope. Yeah. It's a good game, opponent. I'm not gonna sit through that where they have lethal. What are we bluffing? Maybe like settle the wreckage. Maybe settle the wreckages are a shout as well. Oh, my apologies. So maybe we want the Ruined Halo. Maybe we want that more than the Sorcerer's Spyglass in the board. Since I only put the Sorcerer's Spyglass in originally to tackle Ugin. So maybe we actually want to change that. So let's take it out. Let's take out Sorcerer's Spyglass. Let's cut a board wipe. What else do we want? I wonder how much control. Do we even want the Mystical Disputes? God, making room is hard. Maybe we want to go like... Has this been reset? Yeah. Maybe we want to go like settle. Put like one settle. I guess settle's better against goblins, isn't it? So maybe 2 settles, 1 halo. Maybe like that, and we can change it as it comes around. If you guys have any suggestions, obviously let me know what you think. Like I said, I'm a little bit outdated with the meta, but I think this is the idea. We'll change the list up as we go along, and see what's good as it happens. Okay, so our opponent's going first. I think this is a pretty solid hand. Got some interaction, counter spells, board wipe, and then a finisher. I think this is a serviceable hand. And we're against vampires. So Justice Strike not too good against the Knight. Maybe it can answer a Lord. Maybe the board wipe can catch it. Oh, so we have our settle in the board. We also have Ruined Halos, but Seal Away is also a consideration. Okay. It's actually going to be really good here. The thing I'm scared of is the Sorin. So the Tails End is going to be really good here. So this would have been a Dovin's Veto. But it's going to work in both these situations here. So we're going to take this. If our opponent decides to pump the Knight, we will Justice Strike it since it gives it Death Touch. Is that right? Yeah. So yes, no Mr. Sorin for you. Man, John, you should give Goblins is really good, man. Like it's I think a lot of people are saying it's probably like the best list at the moment. Goblin seems to be doing the best with Muxus, just 4 Muxus, just slam that down turn 3 with the help of Skirt Prospector and like Wily Goblin. I think the only rares, like Krenko's really good. Do we want to counter this? So they have to pay the additional costs for it again. I don't really want to take this now. Otherwise, what else are we doing? We're Justice Striking this, and they pay 4 life, or we waste their turn, they have to do it again, we get to save a bit of damage. But yeah, I think best decks in the format at the moment have got to be probably Goblins, from what I've seen. And I don't really know what else is that great. Yeah, Goblins is sick. We are missing our double white, which could have been the Fable Passage there. I think we're just going to play this out. Maybe we want to... I guess this forces our opponent can't attack. I think they're in a position where they're just going to put the blade. Maybe we should have laid white and board white, but I don't think it's going to matter. Are you playing best of one in historic? Because the best of one format's very like variant heavy. You don't know what you're against. You can only put so much in. If you're playing best of one, I'd imagine it's very like sometimes you're going to switch on and like win 10 games back to back or like 8 games back to back. But other times you're going to switch it on and just you're not going to win a single game. It's going to happen, especially in best of one. Okay, so I think we're really favoured here that our opponent's favoured to do this. I don't know how we beat this. I think we... Do we want to draw the extra card? So we tax our opponent for 4, and then they'll have to pay 4 again on their next turn, which will bring them to... That'll be 8 damage. I guess that's how we're beating this, and then we can Justice Strike it. Yeah, you should play best of 3, man. That's where it's at. See, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're actually 1 off. We're 1 off them killing us next turn. Since they can attach the blade back to the Odonto's Vanguard. Thank God we put in a white source. They get to draw a card here. They put the blade on the Odonto's Vanguard, and then we find an answer to it next turn. Maybe a Teferi, tuck it. But this will be 6, 7, 8, 9. No, 6, sorry. I don't know what I'm trying. Okay, so our opponent's not going to do it. They're going to take the much safer route by just playing out a bit of the hand. Yeah, I don't think we can beat that. Yeah, let's go next game. Wow, I am rusty. Maybe I'm making some misplays that I'm just not seeing. Right, against vampires, what do we want? I feel like we want the settles. We want the timely reinforcements. Ruined Halo. Don't think we want the vetoes. Maybe... I'd rather keep the absorbs, I think. Do we want Clarions? What else are we cutting? Cut like that. Maybe we don't want all the absorbs. Maybe we want some Clarions instead, since we're going to probably want to affect the board. The way of answering that Odonto's Vanguard, I feel, was just going to be tax it, since we don't have a solid answer apart from Ruined Halo. I guess we have Settle the Wreckage. Maybe we want to go like that as well. Yeah, let's try like that. Yeah, I think the difference between best of 3 and best of 1 depends really on what you want. Like, do you want some fast-paced magic? Just play a load of matchups really quick. For example, best of 1's really good for like recording content, because you get a load of different matches of a deck. You get to try it out loads. It's probably like the idea is play some best of 1 with your deck, and then if you really like it or it plays kind of how you want, don't worry about your win-loss too much, obviously a little bit. Then you bring it to best of 3 and make a sideboard. This hand is slow, but we have a Search Cancer to dig deeper. If we lose, okay, entirely on my back. If we get mana screwed, then I shall accept my fate. But we're going to go dig for a red source now. Even though we need white as well, we need to play this Bone Crusher Giant. And the blue source in hand, that was a land on top. Oh, don't take our Search Cancer, please. No, this is going to be a Fort Season future. No. Okay, so we can't play the Absorb on time anyway. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, we drew land though, so it's not the end of the world. Okay, we are just gonna tax this now, since we want to spend our mana as productively as possible. Okay, Shatter, not the greatest. I guess we're gonna go find white. And then we only have to top deck 1 more white source for Shatter. And then at least we can play Bone Crusher Giant next turn. Yeah, 4 damage stomp feels well good. Like, Maybe I should have saved the stomp for this this knight. But yeah, 4 damage to the face. Not bad. We're going to tax this Adonto's Vanguard, though. There's no way they're living this. When I used to play tournaments in Paper Magic and I came across the Adonto's Vanguard, that was the way you handled it. Tax it and tax it again. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to Bone Crush a Giant and hopefully they extend more to the board. And we're going to try and tax this Adonto's Vanguard with the Bone Crush Giant. If they give it the enchantment and fly over, then at least we get to cycle our Bone Crusher next turn. Or if we draw land, we can play Teferi and tuck the Adonto's Vanguard. Okay, our opponent's just going to come in. Yep, tax your opponent. Pay your 4 life. This is the most inefficient way to take down an Adonto's Vanguard. Oh, but they're going to get taxed twice now on the Shatter. Opponent, would you like to pay 8 life? They would. Okay, so that's it. Our opponent doesn't have Indestructible anymore. We're facing down 3-1 attackers. That's it. So this Justice Strike's looking a lot better. Unless our opponent can gain life. No, they're going to pay life. Oh my god, opponent, you're daring. You're going to 2. Okay, so 3, 6, 7, 8 we're taking. So we can't actually shock this in, unfortunately. It would have been really nice to shock this in. And play Teferi, hold up Justice Strike. I guess we could have actually, because we could have Justice Striked one of these. Unfortunate. We're gonna let whatever will be, and we're gonna Justice Strike an Adonto's Vanguard. I really wanted to hold up the Absorb, and we could have held up the Absorb at the same time, and we would have been on 3. I think we got to play this and tuck, haven't we? We could hope for a Justice Strike or Stomp. If our opponent has the enchantment, we're dead. No, I did not make it to Mythic, unfortunately. I sort of took a bit of time out. We ended up, I ended up taking like a week or so off streaming, and when I came back to it, the Mythic challenge has ended. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm not going to make a massive deal out of climbing to Mythic, but I'm going to be avidly on streaming now, either every other day or every 3rd day, and we're going to see how far we can get. And when we get really close, I will start posting how close we get, and hopefully we'll make it, and you guys can be a part of that. Yeah, I'm just gonna smash out some more Rune Terror. I've been loving it so much, and sneaky peek into my life, I've actually picked up League of Legends recently. I don't know if any of you guys play League of Legends, but we have to make a play here. I think the play is to Fairy tuck the Adonto's Vanguard. If you guys see a misplay in that, please make your opinions known. Okay, we're dead to a lot here, but hopefully our opponent knocks us to 4, kills our Teferi, and then maybe we can absorb something. Our opponent's top taking a lot of lands. Are they going to take this Absorb? They're not. So, I don't want to stream a funny story, actually. Oh, okay, Settle the Wreckage. I don't think we want to tap down because we're dead to so much. Maybe we should have tapped down for the Elspeth Conquers Death, actually. Do we just take it here? This shuffles away the Adonto's Vanguard as well, doesn't it? If they wanna search. This was such a bad play. Well, I guess it's not, because we would have had to have settled next turn anyway, wouldn't we? And the Elspeth Conquers Death doesn't kill this. No, but funny story. So I started playing League like a week ago from a recommendation of a mate. And oh no! Oh wait, the Elspeth Conquers Death answers that. And our opponent's empty-handed. Okay. They're going to 1. Okay, yeah, sorry, getting out the story. So I started playing about a week ago, and I've been trying to get really good at farming so I can be supportive of my teammates and lane effectively. And I decided from a recommendation of my fiance to play... Oh no, I think we're just dead here, aren't we? Yeah, we're dead. Okay, fair play. Move on to next game. But yeah, I decided to play my first ever PvP game last night, 5v5, and I played Shen, not to my avail. I did really poorly playing him. And one of the players, while I've heard the League of Legends community is quite toxic, one of the players, they didn't take it out too bad, but they were definitely ripping on my ability. But like, I'm level 12, mate. This is my first ever time playing League of Legends, and I did my best, and apparently it wasn't good enough for some people that are experts. But at the end of the day, everyone has to start everywhere, and my experience of what I've heard, League is one of them games that you need to play for like a year and a half before you start to get good at it. And clearly I'm not at the level that some people are expecting me to be at. But oh well, like, I'm going to keep playing against bots. I'm going to get better. Check back in 6 months, and maybe I'll be streaming some amateur League. Yeah, man, they're super hard. Like, no joke about that. Considering I'm basically an Xbox user and PlayStation user as well, I think this is solid hand. Xbox and PlayStation user, so a keyboard is not my controller. So while I'm trying to learn what some would argue one of the most difficult games they've ever played, I am also... What do we want to start on? We'll start on this. One of the most difficult games some people have ever played. I'm also learning to play with a new controller, as a sense. Ow, just hit my leg. Yeah, so that's been really difficult at the same time. No, I haven't thought of playing single-player card games. What, do you just play against bots all the time? I think we have to graveyard this. We have a counter spell. We want to hit lands. No, I haven't thought about playing single-player card games. Do you just play against bots? How do you... My problem with that would be, like, how do you improve? How do you know you're doing well? Is it like when you play, like, chess? I want to put this on the top. I think we want the extra card in our graveyard. But then we got a Nissa coming down next turn, haven't we? I guess not if we counter this. Ah, that was definitely a mistake, wasn't it? I guess our opponent's got no cards in the graveyard. They've got 2 now. So that's fine. Monster Train. Okay, check back in on the next time I stream, the next time you see me go live, and ask me specifically, how did you find Monster Train? And I would have played it. I would have given it. We're going to graveyard this against this ramp matchup. And I'll let you know. I'll let you know how I get on. Is it free to play, or am I going to have to invest £100 to get started on it? Hopefully, it has a lot of depth. I'll give it a good one. Slay the Spire also. I have not heard of that. Okay, they're playing a Krasis X1 with a tap land. Okay, it's not free. Okay, what I'll do then is, because I'm poor like most people, I'll look up some gameplay and see what I think of it. But there's no packs. What? How do you acquire cards then? I think we're gonna keep Second Teferi. Do you just you pay for £20, then you have access to the whole thing? I assume that's how that works. Okay, do we want to start attacking our opponent, or do we want to defend this Teferi? I think we want to defend this Teferi. That's not too bad then. It's like our opponent's going to scoop to no lands. That's not too bad. Yeah, like when you pay a one-off payment, I guess that's fine, because it's like buying Call of Duty, isn't it? Except from you spending 20 quid on it instead of 60. So against Ramp, what do we want? I guess we want the Eighth of Gust and Mystical Disputes. How is our opponent going to kill us? Just want to cut these. I guess we want to favour cutting the Bone Crusher Giants above the Justice Strikes, since they at least kill Krasis, and I'd imagine they have Shark Typhoons. Okay, what am I looking up? Let me just go back in the chat, sorry. Okay, so I'm going to look up Monster Train. I'm going to see how good that is, and I'm going to look up Slay the Spire also, yeah. Okay, so I'll have a look. It's probably one of them new concept card games, so it's like difficult to explain, like you're saying. But I'll give it a shot and see what it looks like. But yeah, always looking for new recommendations, always fun. At the moment, I'm just having like a really good time streaming. So like any sort of games I can pick up to give it a go. I think I was chatting to you, John, the other day. XCOM is something. Oh, what are they with these one landers? I think we're 27 lands. This is better. XCOM is something that I want to go through and do a campaign with, since I've only played it once and it was so much fun the first time playing through. I think what we're going to aim to do here is we're going to aim to Tails End this Uro, which is obviously coming on turn 3. Actually, hats off to George, if you're listening right now, the guy who suggested putting Tails End. We couldn't have countered that that Uro last turn if we didn't have a Tails End. We could have countered that with Dovin's Veto, but we wouldn't have been countering it. Oh man, yeah, that sounds like a sick idea actually. XCOM, anyone who tunes into the stream, I can name a person after you. You can give me a little backstory, I'll copy and paste it in, and we'll do our best. It could even be fun if that person made somewhat of the decisions. Do we want to counter this? It feels like no, but then also like they get a Field of the Dead off this. Do you think we let it go? Then we're just doing nothing by turn though, but yeah, naming soldiers after viewers and people who have followed sounds like a really good idea. Right, so yes, we are not going to Justice Strike this. We're in a bit of an awkward situation where I don't really want to... Our opponent's going on to Ugin mana now. I don't really want to tap down. Oh, shock. I guess this hand, we should have... it would have been nice to have a Search Rest Canter or something down, pressuring our opponent. Oh, I keep burping. So, if you were here at the beginning of the stream, I mentioned the difference between Jeskai and Esper, and one of the reasons while I prefer Jeskai over Esper, one of the reasons Esper is quite good is because it has answers to Field of the Dead that Jeskai just does not have. I think we have to wait one more turn, don't we? To lay this to Fairy. So yeah, Field of the Dead, here we go. Guys, if you got any suggestions to how to beat Field of the Dead, this is something that we need to look up. Sideboard cards for this matchup. Since board wipes are never enough, I think we have to counter this. We can't have another turn of doing nothing. If our opponent has a Mystical Dispute here, we're gonna be peeved. Okay, so our opponent now gets to instantly kill Teferi. What do you have? I will be streaming today till about 8:30. Not a very long one, but I don't know. You guys, like, how have you been experiencing the heat at the moment? To me, it's just unbearable, and sitting down for too long is really difficult. Right, so we have to keep the Shatter, so let's ditch the Justice Strike. Yeah, so only a short stream today. Oh, that's definitely a counter. And again, gotta give it to George. I think I'm actually gonna drop him a message now. Let's oh no, they got the Mystical Dispute, but still for this Tails End, since they are definitely doing better than Dovin's Veto at the moment. Right, what are we doing? I think we just got board wipe, haven't we? Our opponent does not get to draw a card. Right, we are back. Took a minute just to praise the guy who suggested to put Tail's End in instead of Dovin's Veto, since they have come in helpful. They haven't helped us win this matchup, but every time we've had a Tail's End, we would have rather have had that over the Dovin's Veto. So, guys, if a non-token creature would enter the battlefield under your control, or under your opponent's control, not even either. This just does not help, though. I don't know how we'll beat in this matchup. Right, Rob, come on. You're supposed to be good at this game. Legitimate sideboard options for Field of the Dead. While Field of Ruin is good, we're running a 3-color mana basis, so we can't really run it. I think we just stick with the sideboard plan, don't we? We just gotta be faster than them, I guess. Rob, what are the sideboard options for Field of the Dead? Yeah, timely reinforcements buys us a bit of time. Maybe that would have actually been a really good shout. But it's not an answer. I want something. What are these hands? I guess we keep this. Yeah, no, good suggestion. But like, yeah, no, it buys quite a bit of time. But like, how am I answering these Field of the Dead tokens? I think since we have Mystical Dispute. Do you reckon that's the answer? Just stick the Shark Typhoon and kill them quickly. I can get that. I can get behind that, definitely. That might be the way to do it. Think we're going to tap down. While we saw a Mystical Dispute from our opponent game 1. Yeah, you're right. Stick the Shark Typhoon and hold up your counterspell for the Ugin, and go from there. We saw Mystical Disputes game 1, so with 3 lands there, we're not going to see another one. So we want to play around that. So playing Narset there is advantageous. Hopefully our opponent doesn't resolve anything too scary. Nope, they just get to ramp since Narset's in play. Do we give them the oops? No, they knew. They must know. Really want to hold up Mystical Dispute. We could cycle a Shark Typhoon for 1. We need to hit our land drops though. No, this feels so bad. While our opponent's ramping, we are missing them land drops. We needed that Search for Cancer to resolve though. It's our only way of so our opponent gets a Field of the Dead here. And then they Animagic make a zombie. Then we hit White Source right on time and board wipe. What do you say? Like, obviously, we'll take a Fable Passage. Even synergizes with our Search for Cancer. So we're not going to waste any time. They can start activating Golos. We need a White Source. Let's just answer these now. Maybe it was a waste, but I kind of want to keep the Narset about. Okay, 2 zombies now. Yeah, I can see not activating Narset the first time. Why has it always got to be this conversation? Why can't we have a civilized conversation in chat without it resulting to people being called a nonce? Alright. Yeah, maybe not activating Narset, but I don't think it would have helped too much there. Do we just want to get the ECD down? Someone challenging me. Yes! I hope you're supporting me and not calling me a nonce. This is what happens when Rob joins chat. It quickly divulges into name calling. Right. They didn't draw land. We are contesting 12 power though. We get to eat one of these zombies. Go on, throw exactly what you need at Narset. Wait, this... Oh no, they're sending 3 there, okay. Wait, can our opponent... Our opponent can exile... I think we got to take it. If I get the ECD down, they just answer Uro though, don't they? They just play Uro. And then we don't have an answer to it. I'm going to counter Uro as it tries to come down here. And I still get to cycle Shark Typhoon to make a 0, to just cycle it. To try and hit our land drop so we can cast the Shark Typhoon next turn. And then the ECD will hopefully lock it up. But I don't know, man. I don't have high hopes for this. If I'm being honest, I think we missed too many land drops. Can't really catch up now. Yeah, we're gonna need, if we get board wipe off the top, we're okay. We put Deafening Clarions in as well, and we've gone past 1 board wipe. And we get a looker too here. This also puts the extra card in the graveyard. So we have 6 in the graveyard now. So we'll graveyard that. Transform. So our only out is cycle this and hit Deafening Clarion. Can't act. If this was an untapped land, we could obviously activate Searchers Canter. I guess actually, one sec. They have exactly 17, 12, 14, 15. You're right, they do. What's the play? Make a 4/4 shark and block 1. And then hope to top deck Deafening Clarion where the shark can survive next turn. Yeah, that seems... I think we're going to play this out since we have Search Canter as well. We have reasons that we want to activate this to keep digging. Yeah, don't put a land into play in the end step, opponent. Yeah, okay, Rob. I think noticing the line there is good. We cycle and we pray. Yeah, if they... Oh, you got a Brazen Borrower, mate. What have you got? They're holding prey. Let me go to blocks. Yes! The joke's on you, opponent. You're giving me 1 more turn. The only problem is we only have 2 Shark Typhoons. So this Shark Typhoon is going to bring us to the end. Or we just deck our opponent. I mean, they got 39 cards left. Probably not looking at it. Do they get to cast Uro here? No, they don't. Oh! That's got... Oh, and we top deck the Shatter. So, we Shatter, hope to find land so we can activate Search Canter. Or we just Shatter, hold up, absorb. I guess we can do both either way, can't we? White, blue. Blue. This leaves up blue, blue, white. And we get to draw a card here. If we hit untapped land, we get to hold up Search, absorb. Well, we get to hold up absorb anyway. If we hit an untapped land, we get to hold up Search Canter. Okay, so we get to hold up Search Canter. But if they slam Ugin here, we might just wanna absorb that. We are sitting on 2 though, so I'm not feeling too great. Yep, opponent put more lands into play. I think we kept a dodgy hand though, didn't I? Yeah, the 1 land hand was not, or 2 land hand was not great. So now this actually changes the math. We're better off activating Search Cancer at this point. Yeah, it's Deafening Clarion or bust. Or Shatter. Oh! Wait, does Alpine Moon shut down Field of the Dead? Is that our answer? Yes! I think if our opponent plays a ramp spell here, we're going to want to counter it. No, they didn't. I mean, John, that is the way of the game. You just top deck what you need. Like you saw, I had 1 draw, I top decked it, and now we're in the game. On 2 life, 1 zombie kills us. I think we got to allow our opponent to have this, haven't we? Alpine Moon, yes. That will be our answer. I think, how many board wipes we got left? We got 1, 2, 3. We've used 4, so we got 4 shatters. So 1 more shatter and 3 deafening clarions, or 2 clarions. So we got 3 or 4 more board wipes. So our answer here is going to be: if we find clarion, we can Justice Strike the Euro. If we find shatter, we can just shatter. Come on, you got 3 clarions sitting somewhere. 2 or 3 clarions. Oh, another shatter. Our opponent has no cards in graveyard. I don't think we want to give our opponent... So we can 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we get to hold up. So we get to do this and then hold up Search Cancer again. If we had 1 more life, we could have ECD'd and got that train rolling. As it goes, I think we're on the shatter plan though. Yeah, I was thinking that, but like, I think we need to hold this, man. I can understand. I think we're not beating them in the card advantage, though, are we? You think denying the card draw was better? Okay, maybe you guys are right. I just think holding the thing for either 4 mana to fairy to cycle away, or just as an answer to a future Uro or something. I just feel the 1 card's not that relevant. Oh, we have to counter this, don't we? Yeah, because they just lightning strike us otherwise. Yeah, you're right. Oh, double Ugin! At least we survived the hit now. Okay, so now we can naturally top deck a board wipe, and we didn't. Okay. I don't think we got an out here, have we? We need to kill Ugin, and that leaves us with 4 mana. Double Ugin, nail in the coffin. I don't think we can beat this, guys. I'm not going to lie. We didn't hit board wipe anyway. Oh, guys, let's put an Alpine Moon in the board and let's see how we go from there, because Alpine Moon, as Rob suggested, is just going to shut down Field of the Dead. On the bright side, though, we can't actually fall any lower. In rank, we can't fall any lower, so that's pretty good. You think 2 Alpine Moons? I think you might be right. Yeah, good against Search. Is Alpine Moon symmetrical? Mr. Moon. Ah, it's rares. Land your opponent's control. Okay, sure, yeah. Let's add them in. I think 2 sounds right as well. What are we cutting for it? What are you? What are we cutting? Maybe I go like down and absorb. You reckon 1 priest, 1 clarion? Yeah, you can see that. I'm just trying to think. Let's go down and absorb, down a justice, and put some sealaways in. Some more early interaction. And that allows me to cut the ruined halo out of the board, and then we can cut a containment priest. I guess with the extra removal, actually, we want to cut the deafening clarion. Fucking cut the deafening clarion and go up the containment breach again. At the moment, we have 8 board wipes. We have the 4 shatters, 2 deafening clarions, and 2 settle the wreckages. I think that's more than enough. Yeah, I think I like this configuration a bit more. I think the sealaways are going to be good. Hopefully, we're not going to get punished with the free absorbs. But we have other counter spells. Yeah, let's give that a go. How many rares we got left? We got 1 rare left. Let's give it a go. Alpine Moon was the suggestion I was looking for, though, so thank you for that. If you guys are about in a few games, we need to build a mono black discard sideboard. Or we can just play some best of 1. The sideboard is very amateur at the moment. I haven't put too much thought into it. Right, so how are we looking with this hand? A little bit underwhelming. So the Fable Passage can get a blue source. And then what we have, Bone Crusher Giant and Tail's End to try and pull us a bit. Bone Crusher Giant, kind of nice, doubles up. We're on the draw, we'll keep it. Hopefully we're in a position where these Bone Crusher Giants are going to be relevant. We'll go find a blue source. What are we in the mirror? We're back in this matchup again, but we've got our Alpine Moons this time. Well, we're about to see how good they are. And we're about to die to keeping a 2-land hand. It happens. Yeah, let's stop this. We stopped it last time, worked out pretty well. I think just hold up absorb here. Field the Dead not active. Oh no. I think we just have to pass the turn again. Hopefully we just see a Nissa, they tap down. They only have 1 blue available as well, so Mystical Disputes might not be in our future. I don't know if people are main decking them at the moment. Really want the next 2 or 3 cards to just be lands. Okay, so opponent just elects to do nothing. We did hit land, so we will just play this tapped. I feel okay sitting behind our double absorbs. We're not going to get... There's no black, so there's not going to be like Fort distorted. So opponent's happy to just sort of play out and do nothing. We're going to have to pass, discard, seal away. We will, if our opponent does nothing again, we will just Shark Typhoon in the end step, make a 2/2 Shark, and put quote-unquote pressure on them. Obviously, it would have been really nice to have a free shark so it can block these zombie tokens. Let's make a 2/2. Hopefully this hits our land drop. And it does. We even get to... No! What am I doing? Okay, so not watching for double blue there. That is that's quite easily a mistake. So we didn't watch for double blue, so what our opponent does now is they come down and play Ugin. But I think on the off case that they don't play Ugin, let's put some more pressure into play. We should have 100% not played the Search Rascanta though, and held up Absorb. Opponent does have a Mystical Dispute though. Makes me feel better about not sitting behind our wall. Or, fortunately, not triggering Field of the Dead. Right, now we're tapped down. If our opponent has anything, now is the time to do it. Okay, so our opponent's going to Scape Shift. Yeah, if they play Ugin, I would slap an ECD if I had an ECD in hand. But yes, digging towards an ECD will probably be the preferred outcome. Fortunately, we have the Shatter here. And I feel a lot more confident now we have Alpine Moons in the board. Opponent's going big. That's fine, man. We all make mistakes. I just misplayed. I think we want to keep this. Feels bad. We want to hit land drops, but at the same time, I'm thinking just multiple board wipes is going to be enough here. It's also going to flip our Search Rascanta when we put the top card into the bin. Our opponent only has one Field of the Dead as well. So we can just take 2 a few times. But I don't feel like chunking that much. Our opponent does have Uro mana now. Opponent, please don't put another creature into play. Or let us find a Justice Strike. I don't really want to board wipe this since our opponent can just get it back again. They just have to put 1 card in the graveyard. So when I first made... I'm going to put this in the graveyard and flip it. When I first made Jeskai control, I had timely room. Do we want to play this? I don't think we do. But then do we want to let our opponent... I think we just dig for the Justice Strike, don't we? When I first built Jeskai Control, it had timely reinforcements in the main, but I decided to take them out. I can't remember what for. I think it was because I had so much interaction that I just felt like I didn't need them. Maybe it's correct to put them back in. We'll try out the Alpine Moons first. But what are we doing here? I feel like we might be just digging. Oh, we could play it safe and just shatter. But then our opponent just makes more zombies next turn. Oh, do we dig? I think letting our opponent draw... They can't draw the extra card anyway, can they? Because Narset will be out. So it's essentially they just get to ramp 1. We do hit the Justice Strike, though. I think we keep that. So we actually get to keep Narset here as well. So we'll let our opponent put an extra land into play. I think this is fine. It makes them... Oh, they're going to attack us. Did we just want to save Narset here to draw an extra card, do you think? Maybe playing blue-white, just straight blue-white's better. I feel like the removal's just better, isn't it? Like Justice Strike. You just have better options playing the third colour. Yeah, it is a sacrifice, but it's not that bad. I guess when you play just blue-white, you get to play like Fae of Wishes and that. I think we just save Narset here, don't we? You get an extra down tick on Narset. They're not drawing with this Uro at the moment. Maybe blue-white is better. I feel like the red, either going Jeskai or Esper, in my opinion, just feels better. It feels like you have more answers. The mana's a little bit more inconsistent. The Field of Ruin's really good. That's actually a shout. You get to run more of the utility lands and actually take advantage. You get to run Castle Ardenvale and Castle Vantress. Might be a shout actually. You just get to, at the moment, you're trying to balance between. You'd run Ugin in that, yeah. Okay, so our opponent just Sublime Epiphanied us, so good to know. Okay, so our opponent can get Uro back, so I think under them pretext we just have to board wipe. Yeah, let's just board wipe. They get to draw an extra card. I want to protect our Narset, and I also want to be in a position where we can Teferi, tick up, Justice Strike, save Teferi for a turn. You'd play a copy of Field of the Dead and Golos in that as well. Yeah, I'm not gonna let that little combo resolve. We take our 2, but if all of these zombies entered, we'd have lost the game. So here we go. Our opponent gets a load more zombies. I mean, the Field of the Dead. What, you need 7 different lands though. Like, I guess you're running Fable Passages. Like Field of the one Field of the Dead. I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it. I don't know about the extra Field of the Dead. My god. 13 zombies. 14. Do we even get to stay alive here? 14, what's this? 14, no, we don't even get to survive, do we? I guess we can, nah, that doesn't even find us answer, does it? No, let's just concede there. Yeah, Golos is good at the moment in the current meta. Right, let's see about these Alpine Moons. You suggested timely reinforcements last time as well. We saw Mystical Disputes. I think we want to cut these. Cut the thing is, they're really good for Uros. For Jessica, Inspired Ultimatum is going to be the thing that pulls us over. And cut the seal aways. Yeah, John, have fun, man. Enjoy streaming. I'll probably check it out when I'm finished with this, if you're still online. Good luck, man. Let's go like that. I don't know how we'll beat an Uro. Yeah, we'll find a way. Have fun, Rob. Enjoy. Right, let's go first. I think this is a functional hand with lands, so we will keep this. We do not want to miss our land drops anymore. Maybe we're keeping this in hand to cycle. We'll cycle the next one that comes up. Really want to find an Alpine Moon. We got quite a while to find it. We got some zombie insurance as well. We don't have any Ugin insurance at the moment. Right on cue, Field of the Dead. So we're not representing Absorb at the moment. And opponent has an Uro. I think we'll just keep playing lands. Maybe we should play tap land there. Okay, so this Field of the Dead's not going off quite yet. And we are just top decking lands. So our opponent's likely to just have a counter spell to this. They probably have Mystical Dispute, which is why they've been doing nothing. Notice they're playing Negate. I mean, we've just drawn lands, I think. I think we had Clarion, Shatter, and Teferi with 4 lands. I think we don't want our opponent to escape shift, but we're just going to shatter this. Doesn't feel that great since our... Oh, that doesn't feel good. Is our opponent's last card Scape Shift? If it is, I'm afraid we're just dead there. Opponent's last card Scape Shift. Good game, opponent. Wow, we're getting our asses handed to us today. Maybe we've been off MTG too long. Let's jump into some mono black discard. We'll do some best of one. We never got to try out the Alpine Moons. Didn't find him. Though we will endeavour to keep going. We'll try him again on the next stream. Right. Let's go into historic ranked. Let's play some discard. Waste Not has to be one of my favourite cards that's been introduced to MTG. When I used to play 8-rack in Modern, it was super fun to play with. I feel like Waste Not accrues so much value if it goes unanswered. This is going to be a mulligan. Tiny Bones, yes. Let's keep this hand. And we just put this on the bottom. Then we have some removal, some card advantage. I feel like we go Waste Not before Davriel, before Tiny Bones. Okay, so opponent's in mono black, maybe. 2 basic swamps suggests that. We do need to find another land though. Oh, okay. And right on time. I don't think we go for the additional value. Let's go for Davriel now. Start emptying our opponent's hand. Hopefully they give us some more mana. Maybe we can play another Waste Not. No, but we definitely hit our land drop next turn. So we can go Waste Not, Tiny Bones, Davriel, discard. Maybe... Yeah, we're going to go Waste Not. Since our opponent, if our opponent discards a creature... If our opponent discards a creature, we get to obviously block the Solemn. If they discard a non-creature spell, we get to draw 2. If they discard a land, we get to put Elspeth's Nightmare into play. They get to draw a card, but we get to duress them and exile their graveyard for what it's worth. Okay, this is the part where Tiny Bones start to shine when our opponent's empty-handed. So while our Waste Knots won't accrue us any more value, our Tiny Bones will 2-turn clock our opponent. So we get to reveal their hand. They're going to discard a card. They're going to discard that Ugin, and we're going to draw 2. That's pretty good. So now we get to Davriel. We lose our Davriel. They discard a land. We get 4 mana. My god, just going off. We get to Tiny Bones you for 10. And then play Davriel and rack you for 2. So our opponent's in a bit of a tight spot here. He's going to pass turn. So our opponent needs to answer Tiny Bones here. They're still going to take 2. Our opponent can't play a card from their hand, or they have to answer Tiny Bones. Yeah, Mastermind. So 3 mana. You're going to go get a Murderous Rider. I think you're still dead to Rankle. Rankle represents 4 damage, and Davriel obviously the extra 1. The extra 2. I guess they can draw a Castle, but it will still kill them. I guess if they cast Murderous Rider, it kills them anyway. They've got to have removal for this, though. That doesn't cost them life. Right, they got it. Okay, pretty good answer. Okay, interesting. Our opponent's not going to play out their hand. They're going to allow us to make them discard this. So we just get to play a Rankle. Yeah, so yeah, Rankle there into Davriel was lethal in their upkeep. Oh, look at that! We gained one little section up there. Not bad, not bad. So I think we're going to play one more. We didn't play that much Magic today. Just jumping back in. We'll play more as the week progresses. But I think we're going to play some Legends of Runeterra. Gonna set that up in a second and play 45 minutes of that before we come to an end. What is this hand? Oh, Nixafid. Let's go. If that's how it's pronounced. Let's keep this. We need to draw a land, but hopefully we do. Okay, we're against mono white maybe. Oh no, we're against the artifact deck, aren't we? I think we just have to get the Waste Knot down. Maybe it's correct to Erebos' Intervention instead for 1. So our opponent's on the card draw train. Unfortunately, we are not going to top deck our land. And we're just going to pass. See what our opponent does. Just going to have to give this -1. And hopefully that puts us in a position where we can top deck a card for Murderous Rider. So our opponent probably sacks here, yep. Pro black. Hopefully this taps him down. I think it does. I think the Plague Land drop already. So we can't really waste any time. We need to just destroy this Spirit Dancer now. While it would have been great to destroy the Ornithopter, we can't. This value can't be allowed to stay there. Oh. So on the upside, with the Elspeth Conquers Death, we get to look at our opponent's hand before we Murderous Rider them. Also, Eldest Reborn, very good against sort of protect the hive decks like this. I wonder if our opponent, yeah, they probably just cast this just to get it down, since we're going to look at their hand anyway. Okay, so we top deck land. For what a hand. I think we have to take the damage. Do we just Murderous Rider this? Otherwise they go Arcane Flight, draw 2 more cards. This way they get to draw less, I believe. And then next turn we can Eldest Reborn. And then hopefully the Eldest Reborn pulls us over the edge. This also, for what it's worth, puts this Sentinel Eyes in the graveyard, so the Elspeth Conquers Death can exile it. Our opponent gets to just suit up here though, draw a load of cards. Okay, we know all cards in their hand now. They're about to draw a ton more. We're hoping that they don't put out a Elsaid, a Selfless Saviour. No, just Lurrus into the hand. So Lurrus is a little bit worse now. I think we just Eldest Reborn. Get rid of this. We can play like a Burglar Rat next turn. Maybe we get something back. I guess we can get something back out of their graveyard if they don't cast the Ornithopter. Are they gonna put it out of Elspeth Conquers Death for Elspeth Nightmare? Since at the moment it is still under power 2. 4. So discard a card and our Waste Not will trigger. God, Waste Not is such a fun card. So we're probably definitely playing this. Destroy this. Our opponent can get it back. We just want to block her. I think we just want to make our opponent discard some more. Let's make him discard first. So we got some extra mana. That actually helps us cast our entire hand. Thank you, opponent. This is also going to exile their graveyard at some point as well. And we have 6/6, so we should close the gap pretty quick. Opponent's just going to go over our head, though. Are they going to cast the Ornithopter out of their graveyard? Do they see the line? Opponent does not. Okay, so we get to bring back Ornithopter to our side of the field, so we get to block Lurrus for an extra turn. Really want to find a removal spell here. Go on, opponent, you can't play this. Oh, they can. And this can't give protection from multicolored. It can't give protection from colorless. I guess we draw and go to 1. So I guess our opponent just takes 7 here. I don't know which one we value more. We're not going to really be able to gain the life of Murderous Rider, so I don't think it's going to be too relevant. Actually, we shouldn't have played Tiny Bones. Now, if our opponent discards a card, we will die to the Tiny Bones trigger. Sure, okay. So we get to block the Ornithopter here. Stay alive for one more turn. Unless our opponent can give this unblockable. No, we die anyway. Sure, I didn't see that line. They just exiled the thing. Didn't matter. Okay, one more. For anyone watching this now, you haven't been here since the beginning, feel free to head over to my YouTube channel, Radio Magic, and you can check out the rest of the stream. It'll be up about a day after this stream's finished. You can also check out loads of other content over there, such as like deck guides, gameplay, predominantly just Magic the Gathering at the moment, but there will be other stuff up there soon. I think we're going to mulligan this hand, not really good enough. I guess we can keep this. Right. I think we just want to cycle this land on one. What are we against? Mardu. Red, white, black. Explore. Are we against more Field of the Dead? Before we play these Burglar Rats, we'd really like a Waste Knot sort of style of effect, but I guess we'll have to do. Okay, got rid of the Plains. I assume Field of the Dead, they're not too bothered about that. Let's start by smacking our opponent for one. And I think we just have to get on Dabriel. And then next turn we can Rankle. Gonna hope that we just knock our opponents out of cards and they have to discard their win cons like Ugin and that now. Dabriel is fueling the graveyard for Uro. We do have an extinction event though, so we can kind of answer it. We also get to answer this with Rankle. Oh no, our opponent gets to make a zombie here, don't they? No, unless they one of these are a land. One of these are not a land. So let's not give our opponent that much information. Let's discard first. So we're going to make our opponent discard their last card here and sacrifice the Golos. Discard a card, sacrifice a creature. We'll discard our Burglar Rat. And we will sacrifice our Burglar Rat. Burglar Rat really being highlighted here, the value in the list. So our opponent gets to bring back Uro. And it is odd, so we can Extinction Event it. Opponent chose to do nothing. What has our opponent got? Sure, okay, opponent. So a little bit unfortunate. Unfortunately, well, our Rankle gets to survive. Don't think we want to do anything. I think we're just going to discard our Murderous Rider here. And then we have the Extinction Event to answer the Uro. Hopefully we have our opponent in the lock here. Yeah, I realised when my creature didn't go to the graveyard that Rankle has flying. And this is... Wait, it's all gone. But creatures without flying. But either way, we're in a pretty good situation. Let's go odd. We have to discard here, but we kind of want to free our opponent. Wait, did that not... Oh, they discarded Grove Spiral. We'll get the last card out of their hand anyway. So the correct play would have been to attack with Rankle, make them discard first, and then activate Liliana. Misreading. We got the concession anyway. That's it. When you can, who needs to be good at Magic when you can just luck your way through the game? That's essentially how you're going to play. But what we're going to do now is, sorry Rob to disappoint you, but we are going to jump over to Legends of Runeterra for half an hour and see how that goes, play a little bit of that. I kind of wanted to play some of that on stream before we end it. We did about an hour and a half of Magic. And jump onto some Legends of Runeterra. If you're tuning out now, like I said, remember to head over to the YouTube channel if that's what you want to see. We do Magic up there. Like I said, the stream will be up about a day after. But now we're going to play some Shen Z mid-range, I think is the right way to put it. Like, what is mid-range at the end of the day? So, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people can answer that. But 2 seconds, we will just move over.